Help Dr. GTV educate and share biblical principles to end time prosperity and financial security. Donate now at www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840. Don't just get noticed, be remembered. Turn your business or event into a purple cow. Call Dr. G at 800-705-6840.
Questions about your finances, facts, and fishing? Join the New Orleans Talk Network and Dr. G, the Money Coach, on the Money Factor every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Excited to be a part of this New Orleans Talk Network TV station. I'm excited about this show. I am just excited to be here. I hope you guys are excited to be here. Listen, we're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to talk about and celebrate. It's Independence Day. Can't you tell I have all my red, white, and blue on? Yes, we're celebrating Independence Day of the United States of America. But we also want to talk about tonight independence, financial independence. How financially independent are you? And let's look at the history of our nation and what really has been happening from the time of our inception until today. What really is going on in the economy of the United States of America? Let's look at some of the history here. Let's look at some of that history. Of course, you know our nation was born and birthed out of Great Britain. So guess what? Because we were birthed out of Great Britain, we also follow a lot of their laws, a lot of their laws. So in 1776, 13 colonies were created and they broke away from Great Britain, and the great United States of America was born and formed. Isn't that cool? And these men broke away because they wanted a free country, a free nation where every man could be free, free to speak their mind, free to live out their dreams and aspirations without any boundaries or bondage from another man. So let's look at some of that. By the time we became a country, we took on British laws, and some of those laws that we took on, watch this, was 1706. Bankruptcy was established. Now remember, bankruptcy was created in a place whereby it was supposed to give man an opportunity to get a second chance after financial bondage. That was the whole purpose of bankruptcy. Now I want to step back for a minute. Remember, the United States was created from Great Britain with 13 colonies. But what I want you to also know, the United States was formed from a biblical perspective. From a biblical perspective. And biblically, if we read in the book of Numbers, we find that the Lord told the Jews that every 7 years they had to have a jubilee and allow every man that was in debt or bondage to be released from that debt. They were supposed to restore their land. They were supposed to give them an opportunity to start over again. So we find Great Britain picked up those laws, and the United States of America also what? Recaptured those laws so that we can also operate into them. Now let's move on. In 1791, Prince Jenks, remember, we're still moving from the laws of Great Britain, right? We're still moving from where we were broken out of, where we were birthed from, and he founded garnishment. When you try to figure out and understand where some of these laws come from, and we talk about financial independence, these are some of those systems that are in place that might stop some of you from truly becoming financially independent, right? Right. So watch this. Let's move on. In 1841, credit reporting. Credit reporting, watch this, was enacted. In 1841, we started moving into credit reports. After we moved into credit reports, right, 1849 began the financial panics. We begin to move in what we call the business cycle. The business cycle. What is the business cycle? Now remember, this show is about facts, the money factor. It's about teaching you facts that actually exist. It's about you understanding systems, processes, resources, and not just from a natural state, but also from a biblical state, right? Right. So watch this. We move into what we consider the business cycle. So watch this. In 1792, we begin to experience upheavals and financial waves. Pretty much what we're experiencing now. Why is that important? Because I want you to know and understand that history repeats itself. History repeats itself. And eventually, right, we end up recycling the same mistakes, the same experiences that we find that has already happened. And the Bible reminds us there's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new underneath the sun, which lets us know everything that has happened has already happened. What's going to happen has already happened. So there's nothing new under the sun. And if we go all the way back to the birth of our nation up until today, and we talk about Independence Day, the question is, how independent are we? How truly independent are we? And that's what I want to talk about. And before we get into that true independence, I want us to recognize and realize the financial cycles that our nation has experienced and the financial cycles that our nation is continually to experience. And so what am I trying to say to you? It's not necessarily just your government's fault or mistakes that our nation enter into these cycles. Some of these cycles are just like financial formulas. It's kind of like the stock market. Eventually, we say the market will retrace itself back to where it should be scientifically based on numbers, right? Right. So I want us to recognize that we're operating in these cycles, we're operating in these systems, and they're eventually going to happen. And if you just follow history, if you just study history, y'all like my hat? I love it. Hallelujah. We celebrating 4th of July. This is a fun show too. I want you guys to laugh. I want you to have a good time. You're taking the time out to spend with me every Monday. So I want us to live, listen, and learn and have fun. I want us to have a good time, right? So listen, moving back into the cycle stage. I want us to understand we go through cycles. So by 1898, our nation experienced its first revision of bankruptcy law because so many people ended up filing bankruptcy. And here we're going to find as we travel down this road how many times the bankruptcy law has been revised, right? Rewritten from a commercial and a personal perspective. That law has been rewritten and revised several times, right? So watch this. By 1898, we find the nation has rewritten the bankruptcy law, right? By 1913, the Federal Reserve is burned. It's born. The Federal Reserve has been birthed, right? Now, you have to really go tonight. I don't want to get into the Federal Reserve because that's like a whole show by itself, maybe one or two shows. But I just want to give you a few facts about the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve was created by 7 powerful, rich billionaires. So the government does not own the Federal Reserve, but the government has given the Federal Reserve the right to monitor our financial institutions, to monitor our financial systems and resources, right? And the Federal Reserve determines, and they're supposed to be like the police dog that watches over our banks, our financial institutions, to make sure that they're abiding by the laws of the land from a financial perspective. But the Federal Reserve is owned by 7 powerful billionaires in the nation. So the government does not own the Federal Reserve. And I want you to understand that. And those billionaires, you will get to know them sooner or later. So listen, we're going into a commercial break. I'll be right back. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. I'll be right back.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection restaurant, located at the Kona, Chavez and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
Questions about your finances, facts, and fishing? Join the New Orleans Talk Network and Dr. G, the Money Coach, on The Money Factor every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, now I'm back. Thanks for staying with me. Hey, listen, this is the thing about this live TV taping. Everything is live, but I love it because it allows you to be a part of the show. And that's what's important to me. I want you to be a part of the show. I want you to send in your questions, your concerns, so that we can live, listen, and learn, and we can grow and go together. So let's get back to financial independence and the history of our nation. I have two special guests with me here on tonight because I want to move into what truly is financial independence. What is financial independence truly defined as? I know our nation talks about how the nation became independent, and we celebrate 4th of July on tomorrow, Independence Day. But I truly want to know, how independent are we as Americans? How independent are we financially? How independent are we mentally, physically, spiritually? It's not just about celebrating the nation's holiday or the birth of the nation, but it's also about celebrating how financially independent are you? How spiritually are you independent? How mentally are you independently? How physically are you independent? All of that encompasses a great belief or a great feeling of true independence, right? So before we get into that, I want us to finish out what our nation history has been as it relates to financial independence. Let's look at bankruptcy. Do you know that our bankruptcy laws have been rewritten, or you want to say revised, at least 10 times? 10 times. It's been revised 10 times. And each time it's been revised, it's been rewritten not for the sake of the consumer, but more or less it's been rewritten and revised for the sake of the system. What do I mean by that? Well, when we first created the bankruptcy system, a consumer could file bankruptcy, and everything that consumer, every debt that consumer included in the filing was immediately released. The consumer did not have to pay that debt. That credit rating stayed on your credit report for 7 years. You normally will be discharged after 90 days. 6 months at the most, and after that discharge, creditors would quickly come after you to give you credit again. Well, from the 1800 now until the 21st century, our bankruptcy laws have changed tremendously, so much now that after Katrina, so many people filed bankruptcy, right? And then 2008 with mortgage bust, we had so many people filing bankruptcy that the bankruptcy law has changed so much that it's truly, to me, it's not written to give consumers financial independence. So how independent is our nation, or how independent is our nation truly allowing consumers to be who have fallen into a financial dark hole? Because the new bankruptcy law says, one, you must qualify. So to qualify, you almost have to be on Skid Row, literally outdoors, no assets, no cash liquidity available, or they're going to take it from you, right? So bankruptcy today has truly shifted and has changed the way we really are being allowed to become financially independent. We're not even following the biblical laws anymore. For the Bible says in every 7 years there should be a release, a jubilee, where every man who is bound financially will have the opportunity to start all over again, to be free. We don't do that anymore. And I want to encourage some of you tonight. I want to encourage you to know that if you filed bankruptcy, don't be sad. Don't be discouraged, because even the best of the best have filed bankruptcy. People like Larry King Live, Donald Trump. Can you imagine that? Actor Gary Coleman, Michael Jackson. Henry Heinz, the ketchup company. Henry Ford, the car company. Milton Hershey, the Hershey bar company. And they all came back. Dorothy Dandridge, the movie star, right? She even filed bankruptcy. Actresses and casino owner Debbie Reynolds filed bankruptcy. Why am I sharing that with you? Oh, and let me not forget, why I filed bankruptcy. My point to you is, even though the laws have changed, there's still another chance. You have another chance to get it right. And tonight, I'm going to bring on two beautiful ladies who are single mothers, who are financially independent. They have started their own businesses, and they are truly financially independent. Everyday working women, everyday single moms who are doing their thing. I'll be right back after this commercial, and we'll have our special guests with us, Dee Molden and Kim Jones. Stay with us now. We'll be right back.
For sharing with Dr. G and Living in Victory Ministries. Visit us at www.ygliv.com.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Identity theft is the #1 crime of the century. Protect your identity and visit lifelock.com. Use code LIV to receive a 10% discount or call Dr. G at 800-705-6840. Help Dr. G TV educate and share biblical principles to end-time prosperity and financial security. Donate now at www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840.
Questions about your finances, facts, and fishing? Join the New Orleans Talk Network and Dr. G, the Money Coach, on The Money Factor every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Well, we're back. I told you I had special guests here on tonight. Listen, the Money Factor is going to be a different type of show. I want to use real people, real experiences. What do I mean by that? I could have brought on my coach, Dr. Jewel Tankard, who is a multimillionaire. I could have brought on my first lady, Deborah Martin, who is a multimillionaire. But I wanted to bring on everyday people like you and me who are making things happen in their lives. We were talking about financial independence earlier, right? So tonight I want to introduce to you two young ladies that I met just browsing through the land, right? Meeting and greeting new people, and found these two young ladies who are financially independent, who are single mothers. You know, I hear a lot of stories, well, I'm a single mom. Guess what? Excuses, excuses, excuses. These two ladies are financially independent, and as the young people would say, they are lit. So I want to introduce Kim Jones on tonight. She is a serialpreneur, and Dee Molden on tonight. She is a serialpreneur. So, Kim, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Kim Jones. I am originally from New Orleans. I live in Zachary, Louisiana currently. I have a business called 3E Consulting Group, and with that business, I book entertainment and events, and also I am working on booking even more, I would say more elaborate things, such as book signings and just promoting everyone who's doing great things in our town.
Excellent, excellent. And Dee, we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Dee Molden.
Into the mic.
Okay. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I own my own hair salon at 7300 Reed, Suite J, Euphoria Hair Salon. Actually, as of January this year, I made 25 years. Also, I'm a certified chef. And also, I have a T-shirt company, Blinged Out Tees, where I sell T-shirts or whatever. I sell the same shirts, a variety of shirts for any kind of organization that you're involved in. And I'm teaching, well, I'm not teaching, but I'm actually learning how to trade. Yes.
She's learning. We're going to talk about that trading thing in a minute, ladies. I want you to talk about Kim. Tell me, how many kids do you have, and how long have you been single?
I have one daughter who will be a freshman at the Southern University in the fall. She's 17, and I've been single for 6 years now. 6 years.
Okay, Dee, tell us a little bit about your family life.
Actually, I have two sons, two wonderful sons, Darren and Derek. And Derek just came home from the military. Wow. He's serving his country or whatever, and he's doing a great job at it. Also, my son has his own mowing company where he cut grass or whatever, but it's a start, So, and I am divorced. I'm single. I've been doing this here since 1999 on my own. And with the providing of God, everything has been just falling into place for me. And I am just thankful and grateful for everything.
Excellent. You heard what she said? All because of God.
Yes.
So God has to be in it, right?
Yes.
Whatever we do, we have to put Christ in it. And that's what I love about what we talk about here at the Money Factor. We're talking facts, biblical facts. We're talking financial facts. I also, ladies, we were talking about Independence Day. We're talking about how independent are we truly as Americans. When I look at our financial history, and I look at where our country started and where our country is today. The government has just designed or labeled, that may be the better word to use, the government has just labeled what they consider the financially or proportionately poor, which are people who are on welfare, people who are accepting food stamps, people who are on Social Security, people who are on disability, people who are veterans, people who have one
income. I heard you earlier, Dee, said you have a T-shirt company, you are a stylist, and then it was something else you said.
Trade, and I am a certified chef.
And she's a certified chef, and she's trading. So you've got 4 streams
3 more to go.
of income. She said 3 more. We're gonna talk about that too. They can look. They doing the show. I don't even need to be up here. I love it, and I want to talk about that. How did you avoid that? I want you guys to share with me. How did you avoid not becoming a part of what the government has labeled as the proportionately poor? How did you avoid being a part of that label? Tell me a little bit, Kim.
Well, education, first of all. And oftentimes when we say education, people always think it's degreed, but not always in a degreed form. Educating myself to know what else is out there, what other opportunities are out there for me in addition to that, so that I could add to my income and make a better living for my daughter and I.
Excellent. You heard what she said. She said education and not just the traditional education,
Yes.
right? She's referring more to what? Technical education, self-experience.
Self-experience, entrepreneurship, just finding what your passion is and making that work for you, making that make money for you.
So turning your passion into power and money.
Yes.
I like it. I love it. Power and money.
Dee, tell me, what did you do? How did you, all these years, you've turned all of these businesses, have made them successful. You've been on your own, not living paycheck to paycheck, not depending on another man to cut you a check. Isn't that good?
Yes, 'cause I
And
fired
raised
my
2
boss.
children. She fired her boss. Right, we're going to talk about that. Firing your boss. You know, that's what financial independence to me is really all about. It's not necessarily so much, are you a millionaire?
Right.
Financial independence is, and if you look up Wikipedia, it says financial independence are those who do not depend on physical activity on a daily basis to supply their needs. That's financial independence. So you've already listed like 3 passive incomes, right? That you're maneuvering in. Kim, we're going to talk about your new book that's coming out and coming up. That's a passive income. And so tell me, Dee, what did you do that kept you from being a part of that proportionately poor label? You said, I will not be a part of the system. I will not be dependent on government giveaways, government handouts. What did you do?
Actually, like she said, education. I'm from a small town. I'm a country girl. And I believe in, well, how I was raised to, as we started as kids, we were like at least 5 years old. We were learning how to do everything because we had large amounts of property on both sides of my family. And we started going to the grocery store. Well, I'm about to use this making grocery for my mom and stuff, learning how to pick up.
Hey, we're Southern girls. Don't worry about it.
Learning how to collect rent because I never knew what we actually had at that particular time. And it wasn't taught as being an entrepreneur at that particular time when I was a little girl. But I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. And believe it or not, no one would ever actually believe that. But we had chores and we got paid for our chores. But we actually helped our parents. My dad could not read a lick, but he built our house from ground up. And I used to help him to actually read. And you know, the favorite thing what he would always tell us is, help me read the Bible. And it was Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. And we kept going on and on and on, and I would be so embarrassed because that's where we came from. But initially, when I look at my dad, he's my hero because he cannot read all right.
Wow.
Because he started to raise his other 13 siblings at a young age.
Yeah.
And then I went on to actually go to Southern. I was in high school. I was a track star. And I was failing. I was failing before then, but I was like, everybody else teasing me, well, why? I can do this too. And that's when I began to develop who I actually was. And I went on to go to Southern. I left Southern. I went to Alcorn. And then I still wasn't getting what I want because what I wanted to do in life wasn't in college.
Right.
I ended up going to the military where I got a voice. I served in the military, and then I ended up coming back to the States, and I started, well, not the States, but I ended up coming back to Louisiana, and I came to New Orleans. And I started a little job. I stayed on that for 6 months. Then I went into security at South Central Bell. That's a long time ago. But I stayed there for a minute, and I was like, I cannot stay on $5.25 an hour.
So it's
something else I have to do, and I went to beauty school. I was
Mm.
pregnant. I worked overnight, and I was in the military because I wanted that bad.
Wow. So
And
you wanted it.
Yes,
That's
I
another
really did.
thing.
I could not stand just living, like you said, living from paycheck to paycheck. Don't get me wrong. I did have to use some of the government supplements because I had to use the food stamps and stuff.
But you didn't
that's
stay.
not where I wanted to be at.
It's not what you wanted, and you didn't stay.
No.
And that's the objective here when we start talking about financial independence. Look, we have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We have some questions that our audience has submitted to Kim and Dee that they're asking that they want answers to. And since they've already done the doggone thing, who better to answer than them? Stay with us. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
How does a crawfish or shrimp etouffee sound? What about a piping hot cup of gumbo? Or a catfish platter with soft shell crawfish, catfish, livers, and pickles? And that's just for starters. What about entrees? If this is getting your mouth watering, then you need to come to the Praline Connection. Our down-home Cajun Creole-style restaurant has been providing soul food at affordable prices for over 20 years. And our pralines are delicious. We're a restaurant, a gift shop, and a candy shop, all in one. Bring your friends and enjoy an amazing meal today. Come see us at 542 Finchman Street in New Orleans, or check us out online at www.pralinconnection.com. And be sure to like us on Facebook. You can also give us a call at 504-943-3934.
Y'all know me, this the people person here.
Big homie head.
It's your boy Fred.
This man, a big fan.
Right. Listen, we're your host of the New Orleans Talk Network's Fan View. Real fans talk, real sports. Check us out every Thursday night, 6 p.m.
What's up?
Struggling with debt collectors? Scared to answer the phone? Order Dr. G's Man Survival Kit and learn how to stop creditors. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840. Pedro, uno dinero. The U.S. dollar will collapse. Learn why you should buy physical silver and gold. Order Dr. G's P3. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840.
Well, thank you. We made it back. I'm so glad you guys are still hanging out with us. Listen, we're back with Kim Jones and Dee Molden, our entrepreneurs, serialpreneur, mompreneurs. I love it. You guys got to become a part of the mompreneur program. It's a program one of my girlfriends are pushing out, Latoya Dennis, and she strictly deals with mompreneurs, moms who are moving in business and entrepreneurship and still being a mom. Little bitty ones, medium ones, the big ones, because we never stop being a parent.
Never.
No matter how old I have, a 31 and a 37-year-old, and listen, I'm still being mom. We just don't stop. So Kim, listen, I have a question here from one of our viewers, and the question is, how do you as a single parent decide when is enough of activities as it relates to your budget versus your financial freedom and bondage with your kids. In other words, how do you know when to not put your kids in extracurricular activities like dance in school, karate? And how do you know when to tell your kids enough is enough?
Well, I began to determine what our wants and needs were. And if I determined that it was something that we could really do at a later date, we would put it on the back burner. If there were multiple things, because kids, unless you tell them, they don't really understand that they can't do certain things. So, if there were multiple choices, then, let's make one choice. And if this is something, let's look at how this is going to benefit you long-term wise. And then that would fall under our need category. So everything that I looked at in terms of spending, even now, is it a want or need? And how much value is it going to bring to me? Or whether or not, I'm going to get a return on investment in it. So
where you get all that terminology from?
I'm my financial coach here.
Right. No, that's good. And I think the more people begin to realize in everything we do, every purchase we make, some people might say, oh, Dr. G, you're going to the extreme. But every decision I make, I must ask myself, what is the return on my investment?
Yes.
Is the return long term? Is it short term? And I have to ask myself, is this a need or a want? Because sometimes we get our needs and our wants confused, and our wants get us. And, I hear people say, I need a house. A house is not a need, it's a want. You need a roof. You don't need a house. So you need what you can afford and not necessarily what you want, right? So I like that. She says, I judge, first of all, what's a need and what's a want. And if what the child needs is something that can be placed on the back burner, mothers, listen up. You better put it on the back burner. D, this question is for you. And they would like to know, when did you know it was time to start your own business? Did you leave your 9-to-5 immediately, or did you keep working until you moved into full-time entrepreneurship?
Actually, like I said, I was at the phone company and I discovered I cannot live off of $5.25 an hour. So like I said, I went to school. I was in the military and pregnant all at the same time. And after I finished beauty school, I went on to work at Regis in the plaza. And I stayed there for like 3 months. And I built up a clientele just that fast. I left within 3 months, and I've been on my own ever since.
Wow. And how long has that been?
Since 1992.
Awesome. Wow. Look at that. She's been on her own since 1992, earning her own money, making her own money. Listen, folks, there is no greater, no sweeter taste in your mouth than to determine when, how, who. I always think about Pretty Woman. Remember when they got into the argument and she said, I say who, I say when, I say how. Look, I love it. I watched the movie, right? So I quickly think about that. I say who, right? I can take a contract or turn it down. I say when. I say how, right? You can't do that on somebody else's job. Exactly. Listen to what she said. She first made a decision. I think the challenge with a lot of people is fear.
Yes.
The fear of making the decision to step out on your own. You know why? We become what? Dependent.
Right.
We become dependent. I've been in that position before. We become dependent on that weekly or bi-weekly paycheck. And we think, oh my God, how am I going to get through to this? But my God said, and I shall supply all your needs if we just trust and believe in him, right?
Right.
That's what I love. Listen, Kim, you have a new book out.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that new book.
I have a new book. The pre-order sales launched today. It's called Waking Up to Money. And I was on the phone talking with a friend. I hope she's watching. Her name is Mia Williams. And she was sharing with me a passive income opportunity. And we just started laughing. She said, girl, we'll be waking up to money. I said, yes, that's the title for my book. So Waking Up to Money is about passive income. And it talks about, well, really, lots of people don't even know what passive income is.
So why don't you tell us what that is?
Passive income is income that you receive from doing very little activity.
That's right. No physical.
You're on autopilot, basically.
That's right.
With passive income. And there's all different types. Very simple to the very complex.'ll have to buy the book to find out.
Good.
My website, you can buy directly from the website, which is www.wakinguptomoney.com. It is an ebook. It's going to officially be available on the 22nd of this month. And then I've already had people asking, are you doing hard copies? Yes, I am going to do hard copies eventually, but we're starting out as an ebook. So I'm very excited about this because a lot of the knowledge that I received from this particular topic came from the things that you've taught us as a financial coach.
Oh.
And actually, I just want to let you know this was going to be a surprise that I have acknowledged you and what you've done for me in that book. I really appreciate
I'm like a proud peacock.
just, changing our perception of money, just helping us to look at it from a different standpoint. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I love you. This is one of my mentees, and I'm just so proud of her. When I first met Kim, she was so quiet, so shy, so bashful. And I was determined to pull it out of her. And then one day out of nowhere, she goes, Dr. G, I'm ready. And I'm like, wow. And I mean, she was ready. We started her business in less than 60 days. She was up and running. So I was just excited. Now I want to move to Dee. Dee, you said you're trading now?
Yes, actually, I'm learning to trade.
Okay.
Actually, I'm having a class on July the 22nd in Baton Rouge. I haven't gotten the actual location, but we're bringing Jamal Evans down from Texas. And he says he's coming to teach us how to make money.
All right, Kim, you're trading?
Yes, I'm trading through Forex.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, guys, this is the new I said it is the new financial powerhouse. We're bringing Wall Street to your street. Everybody's getting in on the trading part. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Listen, before we go, I want to say to you, today is Financial Independence Day, tomorrow, rather, July 4th, and this show was about looking at the history of our nation. Our nation right now is $19 trillion of debt. If you go to the debt clock, debtclock.org, you will see the live debt clock ticking every second. That number is increasing. $19 trillion of debt the American nation is in, and $17 trillion of that debt is personal debt. Consumer debt. So the question is, history repeats itself. How long do we believe history will repeat itself before we experience another 1929? The other question is, you guys know my motto, and that is 7 streams of income.
Yes.
You must find 7 streams of income and make as many of those streams passive income as possible so that you don't have to depend on that physical labor that may collapse with the system, right? So I want to say hats off to you ladies. Listen, we have about 2 more minutes. I want you to tell them. Dee, you say you are a chef. You have a t-shirt business. You want to tell them with your website how they can tap into that business of yours. I've seen her t-shirts. If you're a diva and you like bling,
yes,
she is the lady to go to. Tell us how to contact you, Dee.
Okay, I don't actually have an up website, but you can contact me through my business line at Euphoria at 504-205-3887, or you can stop by the salon at 7300 Reed, Suite J. Talk to me.
I like it. She says, stop by, talk to me. Listen, she is a talker now. She will talk you into a t-shirt, probably a hair color, a hairstyle, and then have you trading before you walk out the door. So you better go ready and prepared. Kim, tell us how to reach out to you. Maybe somebody in the audience is a new artist coming out on the beat and they need somebody to brand them. They need a broker to book them. Or maybe someone needs to know about that book. How do they buy that book? Tell us how we reach out to you.
Okay, to buy the book, you would visit www.wakinguptomoney.com. If you are interested in events or any type of entertainment you need me to assist you with, you can reach me at www.3egc.net.
3egc.net. I love it. Listen, our time is up. Thank you for joining us on our first show. I am excited. Looking forward to next week. We'll be talking to you about debt collectors. Are you tired of people ringing your phone, knocking on your door? Hey, I have a man that's coming to tell you exactly what to do according to the law. Fact or fiction? Join us on The Money Factor next Monday. I'll see you there. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Y'all know me, this the people person here.
Big home ahead.
It's your boy Fred.
And this man, a big fan.
Right. Listen, we're your host of the New Orleans Talk Network's Fan View. Real fans talk real sports. Check us out every Thursday night, 6 p.m.